When mapping out your short form video strategy, you will be asking yourself, am I going to create original short form content or am I going to repurpose from my existing videos? Both are totally viable strategies that have their own paths for success. This video aims to show you how you can use either one to accomplish your goals for your content. I'm going to break down for you the pros and cons for both, give you actionable strategies, and of course, give you some great examples to inspire you along the way. First, let's define what we mean by original and repurposed content. Original content is where you are making the content specifically for vertical video platforms like TikTok, Reels, or YouTube Shorts. Repurpose has a twofolded purpose. One, we're repurposing short form content from one platform to the next, like doing a TikTok video and putting it over onto Shorts. And then there's the one that we're gonna be focusing on for this video, which is using parts of a long form video, like a live or an edited video, to make a vertical video clip for posting to short form video platforms. Now we're going to dive into the pros and cons of both. First, we're going to talk about repurposing our content. Now, some of the advantages of repurposing your content is it really simplifies the content creation process. When we've already spent so much time creating these long form interactive videos, we want the videos that we're creating to get more use out of them, and we want to essentially work smart, not hard. By using a clip from an existing video, we're going to be able to simplify our process by being able to cut back on having to create new content all the time. Now, when we repurpose a clip from our long form content, it actually really helps that video perform better because it supports it by using the algorithm benefits. The best advantage of this is going to be seen with YouTube Shorts. When you take a clip from a YouTube long form video and make it into a short, you're able to link to that long form YouTube video, which drives traffic to that video. Now, when we're working through the cons of repurposing content, the biggest issue that you will run into is going to be the lack of originality that may not add value to your viewers. If they maybe already watch your long form video, if they're just going to see the same thing in a clip, it doesn't really give them much reason to watch your vertical video content on that platform or any other platforms you might be repurposing to. It also requires effort to reformat and upload your repurposed content to specific platforms. I have talked about this in a previous video where it's important to make sure that any content that you repurpose gets reformatted for the platform. And what I mean by reformatted is it has the different messaging, updated hashtags, and utilizes all of the added benefits that go in to each platform to help make that content perform better. And that can also be time consuming to do right as well. Another thing to consider is that your repurposed content may not be as interesting since it wasn't in the original format that it was intended for. For example, this video is a horizontal video made for YouTube. It might not translate over to TikTok or Reels when I have a vertical video made from this horizontal piece, for it might not be taken as seriously or as enjoyed as much by our viewers. All right, now let's talk about original content. Now, the advantages of using original content is it offers a unique value and so much creativity for you and your viewer. Just like you spend a great deal amount of time creating long form video for that audience, when you're creating vertical video for a audience that wants to consume it, it really gives you a unique value to them because they know that you're creating that content specifically for them in that platform. And of course, it gives you so many opportunities for creativity and doing something new. The coolest thing about vertical video is that it has so many diverse different content types and styles. A friend of mine named Nate Black did a fantastic YouTube video where he broke down the 8 different types of vertical video content that he has seen that performs really well. I highly suggest that you go check it out because what he has found is that when people create specific types of original content for shorts, it can perform really well and goes with our second advantage, which is it becomes the top of the funnel. When you're creating content specifically for vertical video platforms, it can get you a lot of attention, which can be really helpful when you're trying to get people into your ecosystem and into your funnel of content. content to hopefully get them to be buying customers. When you're making content very specifically for vertical video and it's hitting really well, it's a fantastic way to get a lot of views and attention to your brand, which is a great way to build people down your funnel so that you can ultimately turn them into longtime viewers and customers. Now, the disadvantages of creating original content is it can be very time consuming due to the intense amount of filming and editing that happens. When I record short form videos here for the Camtasia channel, it takes me a long time. I'm usually doing like 5 to 10 takes of any specific clip, and then I have to go and edit it so that it can flow the way that it's supposed to. I also am trying really hard to make sure that it fits into a very short, specific amount of time. Now, this could be 59 seconds if I'm creating a YouTube short, or 90 seconds if I'm trying to do it for Reels. By having that time constraint and that specific editing style, and also trying to do it with your fingers sometimes, like in the TikTok or Reels app, can get very tedious and can get very time consuming. Now, because creating vertical videos is so time consuming, you can burn out on it, or you can consider it not scalable if you have to keep doing them long term. The really big disadvantage of short form vertical videos is that you have to keep making it, which traps you into this constant cycle of having to create. The other thing that we have found in the industry is that while those videos are incredibly catchy and informative and fun, it doesn't always build a strong community in the same way that building long form content communities can work. Short form content is a little amount of time that people get to spend with you and your brand, versus a long form video like this one, you can spend more time with that brand, and therefore it might not be feasible or economical for you to invest in creating those original short form content pieces. Now, when we want to have success with repurposing, we have to have some really specific strategies in place. You want to identify those power statements in your long form content that can stand independently. While it is important for it to support your content, you really have to make sure that it can stand on its own and makes perfect sense by itself. You also are going to need to adapt your content for the different platforms while maintaining consistency. Again, this is where we want to make sure we adjust our message, adjust our hashtags, adjust if we upload natively, what the background sound's going to be. Is there a cover? Is there not a cover? We have to really work through a system that allows for our content to not only work on its own, but also be consistent and to the standards of each individual platform. Sometimes this means that you might have to re-edit with embedded closed captions, maybe add in B-roll or emojis. This is a great way to take your original content that you've made that's long form and reformat it so that it can hold attention in the way that's needed for vertical videos. Oftentimes, the easiest thing that we can see are those animated closed captions that are changing as someone talks, adding in B-roll, and of course, a good old-fashioned emoji always connects with the users. The biggest thing, though, is for you to make sure that your content that you're repurposing aligns with your overall content strategy. If your content strategy doesn't support having repurposed content, there's no real point in doing it other than maybe to test to figure out how it could work in the future. Now, when it comes to creating original content, our strategies are going to be a little bit different. First, we need to establish before we even start creating the clear goal and strategy that's going to support that content. Creating content just for the sake of creating content never helps anyone in any platform in any situation. So whatever you're creating needs to make sense within the goals and strategies that you have for your content plan. Next, you're going to focus on attracting an audience at the top of the funnel. A lot of times when you're repurposing content, it's to reinforce your existing funnel that you have in place and the other strategies that that long form piece of content is doing. When we are creating original short form content, we're starting at the top of the funnel and we're trying to get people in by attracting them into what we have to do. And then we can build stronger and stronger connections as they scroll down. You definitely want to develop a schedule and a plan for your content creation, including editing and publishing. By having a clear schedule, it's going to allow for you to have parameters in which you're going to create your content. This is very similar to how you would want to create long form video content, blogs, and other sorts of content pieces. You have to apply that same strategy to short form content as well. Now, the master of repurposing content is Jimmy Fallon and his team over on YouTube. What they do is they have their full hour-long show complete with commercials that is broadcasted to network television. And then they take those clips, those individual interview segments that happen between commercials, and they make those into long form or medium sized clips that are seen horizontally on YouTube. And then they take the clips from those and make shorts out of them. So they're repurposing twice, actually, so that they're able to have clips from the show. And it's a really great way to connect with the audience in a smart way by starting with the little clip, then go get this one, then just go watch the full episode. And it really captures them into a funnel in a smart way. Now, what I feel is a better way to repurpose content is to create an original short based on a long form content piece with the same footage, but maybe a new voiceover. Now, this is Wade from Millennial Stone Cleaner. He created this really interesting long form video that was a full vlog that was filled with information and slow step-by-steps of how he was able to restore a baby cradle grave in his town in Iowa. Now, what he was able to do is not only create this really amazing, deep, long form video, but then he made a short form video that was less than 59 seconds, taking through people a small snapshot of what happened in the video. You could literally go from start to end within the short and get everything that you really needed to know. But if you wanted to know more and watch him do it more in depth with his steps and stuff, you could go watch the long form content over on his channel. He was able to really make a smart repurpose short by using footage he already had and a very condensed version of the story that he had with an original voiceover. Now, when we're talking about original short form content, I want you to check out vidIQ. Now, vidIQ is all about helping you grow as a YouTuber and content creator by breaking down all things that you need to know about YouTube as a platform. They have done a really great job of giving you these micro education moments within their shorts that are made specifically to help answer questions and solve problems that aspiring YouTubers have. So how can you figure out what is the right way for you to create short form content, whether it's repurposing or creating original content? So I'd love to know, are you going to be repurposing your content or creating original short form content? Please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you are looking to create really great short form videos, whether it's repurposing or creating originals, I want you to watch this video that I have for you right here, where we're going to show you how to create short form content using Camtasia.